Hello viewers, do you know that questions like this are the simplest? Yet many students avoid it in WAEC and NECO mathematics exams. On screen is the WAEC GC 2025 question, 6B. The top of a cone. Look at this cone. This is a cone. Now the top part of it, the top of a cone of height, the height of the cone is 10 centimeter and the base radius is 7 centimeter. The top part of it is to be cut off by a plane parallel to the base. This is the base. So we want to cut this top part of it, we want to cut it off. We want to cut it off with a plane, of which this plane is parallel to this base. This plane used to cut off the top part is parallel to this base. If the distance between the plane, this is the plane, the distance between the plane and the base is 3 centimeter from here to here. If the distance between this plane and the base is 3 centimeter, here to here is 3 centimeter, calculate the volume of the remaining part. If I cut off this top part, let's say I have a representative sketch here. I cut off this top part of the cone. I cut it off to now have this bottom part left. To have this bottom part left. Now from the full cone, you can see that I have cut off the top part away, having the bottom part. Now I will need something here. How do I get the volume of this remaining part? I need to get volume of this whole cone, then subtract the volume of this cut off part to get the volume of this part. But to find the volume of this, I don't have the height, I don't have the radius yet. Now listen, if the height of this full cone, is 10, and here to here is 3, what will be the height from here to here of the small cone? So height of small cone is out of 10, 3 has been cut off here. So the height from here to here will be 10 minus 3, 10 centimeter minus 3 centimeter. So the height of the smaller cone is 7 centimeter. So this cone that was cut off, its height is 7 centimeter. We need to get its radius. Also, how do you get its radius? Now from here, look at from this shape. If we have the full cone this way, this is the full cone. Now this height is 10. The height here is 10. And here to here is 7 centimeter. The full part here is 10. Here to here is 7. The radius of this bigger cone is 7. Again, let me explain. If I cut off these triangular parts of this bigger cone, the height of the bigger cone is 10. Its radius is 7. While for the smaller cone, its own height here is 10 minus 3, giving us 7. Then I want to find the radius of the smaller cone. I'm going to use the formula for similar triangles. That will be height of smaller cone. Look at it. Height of smaller cone over radius of smaller cone equals to height of bigger cone over radius of bigger cone. Again, similar triangle by this similar triangle. Height of smaller cone 7 over radius of smaller cone, which is RS, equals to height of bigger cone, which is 10 over radius of bigger cone. Now here, HS, height of smaller cone is 7. Radius of smaller cone we want to look for equals to, what is the height of the bigger cone? Height of the bigger cone is 10 over radius of the bigger cone is 7. So we cross multiply. Let me do that over here. So 7 times 7 equals to 10 times R. So this is 49 equals to 10R. Dividing both sides by 10. So radius of smaller cone equals to 4.9 centimeter. Now the next thing for me to do is, what will be the volume of this remaining part? That will be volume of the whole cone, that is volume of the remaining part will be volume of the whole cone, volume of the bigger cone minus volume of the smaller cone. Now let's find the volume of the bigger cone now. Volume of the bigger cone. Volume formula is 1/3 pi r square h. This will now be 1 over 3 times pi is 22 over 7 times r squared. Radius of the bigger cone is 7. 7 squared times, what is the height of the bigger cone? 10. By the time I multiply out all of this, I'll be having 513.33. Now, volume used to be in centimeter cube. Also, to look for the volume of the smaller cone will be 1 over 3 pi r squared h, height of the smaller cone. This will give me what? 1 over 3 times 22 over 7 times, what's the radius of the smaller cone? Radius of this smaller cone that we got here was 4.9. That will be 4.9 squared times, what's the height of the smaller cone? 7. If I should multiply all of this, punch my calculator, I'm going to be having 176.07 centimeter cubed. Now, what will now be the volume of the remaining part? This volume of this bottom part, we call it frustum of a cone. That will be what? Volume of the bigger cone, which is 513.33 centimeter cube minus 176.07 centimeter cube. When I subtract that, I'm going to be having 6 over here. I will be having 2 over here. Then here will be 337 centimeter cube. So the volume of the remaining parts will be approximately 337.3 centimeter cubed. Thank you for watching. If you gain one or two from this video, do like, share, and follow this handle.